Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So today's topic is we are entering a new chapter of the Bhagavad Gita called the Vibhuti Yoga. And before we begin, as you nicely began, whatever we are able to share is because of our Guru. So we begin with acknowledgement to the Guru. You know this prayer, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vibhuti means a symbol. Now, if you see the flag of India, that represents the country. It all began with Arjuna wanting to see God. And because God is so vast, to be able to see God in the world, so he asks Krishna to give a few symbols. Now, can I ask you, let me see how you will understand certain symbols. And you all can be smart, you all are very smart, you can answer these questions. When you see this, which country is this?
Canada.
Very good.
Canada.
Okay. Next.
USA.
United States of
America.
All right.
United States of America.
I'll make it a little more difficult now.
Japan.
Okay, good. This one.
United
Right.
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. This one.
China.
Very good. These are our symbols of this one.
Europe.
That's right. What is it? You're correct. The European Union. It is a flag of the European Union. So whenever you see a symbol, you will be able to identify something very big. This one is?
Germany.
No. Somebody said it.
South Africa.
This is South Africa. All right. What is this?
Nike.
Mercedes-Benz.
This one?
McDonald's.
What is something?
Target, McDonald's, Shell, Starbucks, Apple.
Now there are beyond other symbols. When you see this, you can make out which country it is and what it represents. What does this represent?
Statue of Liberty.
Very good. What does this represent?
It was in the Spider-Man movie. I showed some. White House.
No. This is the Washington Monument. And they have made a rule that no structure in Washington should be higher than this. No building can become higher. This is Washington, D.C. This one?
India Gate.
So you understand what is a symbol, you know what is the significance of a symbol. Now, I'm just going to give you certain random symbols Krishna gives, which you're going to study in detail. Now, Krishna says among the Vedic meter, you must know Gayatri. Gayatri is a Vedic meter. Have you heard of Narada?
Yes, sir.
He's
a traveler. He's a great devotee of Vishnu.
Very good. So among the sages, he gives symbol of Narada. Among all the words, the symbol is, okay, you can read there, no? I've highlighted. Omkara. Among the mountains, what can you read?
Meru.
Among the rivers, Ganga. The luminaries in the sky is what is bright. What is bright during the day?
Sun.
What is bright during the night?
Moon.
That means when you look at the moon, when you look at the sun, Krishna is trying to say, I want you to be very sensitive. Whenever you see something very beautiful in the world, something extraordinary, you should be able to see me in the world. So Krishna is trying to tell you that you have to be very sensitive to see God in the world. Now, to become very sensitive, there is a sadhana, there is a certain spiritual exercise all of us, even though we are small children, we should do every day. Are you ready to do these sadhanas, spiritual exercises? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because if you
Yes,
were
sir.
very good, see, you're attending these classes, you will learn all these sadhanas. These sadhanas make you a bright boy or a bright girl. And then when God appears as the sun, as the moon, as a tree, as a river, you will be able to see God in the world. The first sadhana is called Deva Yajna. That means every morning, every evening, go to the prayer room and make your own personal prayer for a few minutes. That is called Deva Yajna. The second is called Pitra Yajna. That is my reverence and respect to my parents and elders. That is Pitra Yajna. You'll have to remember all this. I'm going to ask you. Then there is Brahma Yajna. What you're doing right now, when you're studying the Bhagavad Gita, it is called Brahma Yajna. Then Manushya Yajna is when you serve somebody else in your family. And when you take care of plants and animals, it is called Bhuta Yajna. So I'll just go back to each of it. What is Deva Yajna?
Worship
God.
Worship of God.
Oh, very good. What is the second yajna you should do?
Pitru Yagna, reverence to parents and elders.
Very good. What is the third yajna?
Brahma Yagna, reverence to Guru and scriptures. Worship to scriptures.
Very good. What is the fourth yajna you should do?
Manushya Yagna, service towards people.
Very good. What is the fifth last one you
Bhuta
should do?
Yagna, caring of plants and animals. Caring of plants and animals.
Very good. So if you have a garden in your house, water the plants, take care of them, keep some water for birds to come and drink, or if you have some pet dogs or something, take good care of them. So you will learn to become very sensitive in what is called Pancha Mahayajna. Now, there is one prayer that we have to do before we wake up. When you wake up in the morning, these are, see, the first thing what we do is called Karma Yoga. I will teach you few things which is called Upasana Yoga. If you do these things every day, then while you are in bed itself, you have to chant this. Among all the people in our group, there is one person called Shamala. She is very good in chanting. You will listen to her, because when you are chanting, you should develop a certain, your chanting should be very correct. After some time, you'll say you should not make mistakes. Even in the style of chanting, they say Swara Hani is Mantra Hani. Not that God is going to get angry or something, but the benefit you will get will be much less. So when you're opening your eyes, but you have not got out of bed, there is a famous mantra which comes from Taittiriya Upanishad. Shamala, will you lead us? And then the children will chant. You will chant the whole thing.
Hariom. Matrudevo Bhava.
Matrudevo Bhava.
Matrudevo Bhava.
Pitrudevo Bhava. Pitrudevo Bhava.
Acharya Devo Bhava.
Acharya Devo Bhava. Acharya Devo Bhava.
Atithi Devo Bhava.
Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi Devo Bhava.
Very good. Which means, I take blessings from my mother. I take blessings from my father. I take blessings from my Acharya, and all of them I'm going to treat like God. And if there is any visitor who comes to my house also, I will treat them like God. This is the first prayer when we wake up. Before we put your feet... Before you put your feet to the ground, now, this is what is called the sensitivity. The bhumi that we are putting our feet on the ground is represented by The ground is Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi. There is a beautiful prayer. I'm sorry, before that, in bed itself, we have to make another nice prayer. Here again, I will ask Shamala to lead and all of you will repeat.
Karagre vasate Lakshmi.
Karagre vasate Lakshmi.
Karamadhye Saraswati.
Karamadhye Saraswati.
Karamule sthite Gauri.
Karamule sthite Gauri.
Mangalam Karadarshanam.
Mangalam Karadarshanam.
Now, you remember, you have woken up and you are still not got out of your bed. You have finished Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava. This whole world runs on the power of the three goddesses: goddess of wealth, goddess of knowledge, and goddess of strength. So Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Gauri are there in your hand. You seek the blessings of all the three gods, and then you put your feet on the ground. Before you put your feet on the ground, you have to pray to the goddess Bhudevi. You're praying for, again, goddess Lakshmi. And each line by line, Shamala will lead you. You should repeat exactly like Shamala says. Shamala, please.
Samudravasane Devi.
Samudravasane Devi.
Samudravasane Devi.
Parvatasthana Mandale.
Parvatasthana Mandale. Mandare.
Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam.
Vishnu Patni Namastutyam.
Padasvarsham.
So what you are doing is, oh goddess Lakshmi, I'm going to put my feet on you. Please excuse me. That means be very sensitive to the God as you put your feet on the ground. Then when you go to the bathroom, you will be touching water. Now this prayer says all the water that I'm going to wash my body with is coming from all the rivers, from Ganga, from Yamuna, from Godavari, from Saraswati, which means I have a great reverence to the water that I'm cleaning myself with. Shamala, lead them line by line.
Gange Chayamune Chaiva.
Gange Yamune Chaiva.
Godavari Saraswati.
Godavari Saraswati. Godavari Saraswati.
Narmade Sindhu Kaveri.
Narmade Sindhu Kaveri.
Jalesmin.
Sandim Guru.
Guru.
Very good. Now, this is a difficult prayer. I don't want you to repeat it, but only Shamala will chant. Nobody else will chant because it's a difficult prayer. But the symbol is, once you go to the prayer room, you will light a lamp. Agni. Agni is called Pratyaksha Devata. Pratyaksha means this is an example of God in front of you. Normally, we see God in the form of a photograph. All photographs are symbols. Remember, a flag is the symbol. But when you see Agni, Agni is God itself. So there is a greater reverence when you see Agni because it is more real. Now this prayer only Shamala will chant because it's a difficult prayer. I don't expect you to remember, but it is just to bring reverence. Shamala, if you will chant this at one stretch. Muted. You're muted, Shamla.
ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववायुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यास्मज्जुहरा नामेनो भूयिष्ठन्ते नम उक्तिविधेमः.
Thank you. So in your prayer room, you have seen God directly in the form of fire. Now, when you, Krishna, in the 7th chapter has given, see, Vibhuti Yoga you study in the 10th chapter, but from the 7th chapter and the 9th chapter, he gives a lot of examples that when you taste water, rasoham apsu kaunteya, if you're very thirsty, sometimes the moment water comes, you feel so good. The taste of water, Krishna says, is me. Prabhasmi. When you see the brilliance in the sun and the moon, that you must remember it is me. When you hear Om, remember in every sound, that sound, pranava, you must think of me. Now, when you see all human beings, there is life in everybody. There is enthusiasm. That life in all of us, Shri Krishna says, is me. Shamala, if you will lead them again, line by line.
रसोऽहमप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि सूर्ययोः प्रणव सर्ववेदेषु सप्तके पौरुषं ऋषु.
Very good. We will go to, before we eat, at least 3 times a day, or at least more than that, you will eat. Before you put food into the mouth, there is a very beautiful prayer which you have to learn. There are other prayers also which may be more difficult, but this is more easier than all of them. You are praying to Goddess Annapurne, where you are asking not only for food, but you are asking for Jnana and for Vairagya. Shamala, if you can lead them line by line.
अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शङ्कर प्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्य सिद्ध्यर्थम् भिक्षां देहि च पार्वती.
Very good. Now, there are 2 more prayers. I'm not going to go through the chanting process, but some of you know this prayer, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi. And there is another prayer which comes in the Gita, Aham Vaishwanara. So any one of them, I want you to chant before you eat food. Now, when you see any tree, there are so many trees, but among all the trees, be very sensitive to the people tree, Ashwatha tree.
Sir, we can't hear.
You can't hear? Can you hear now?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. When you see the people tree, you have to see all the 3 gods, Mulato, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Shamala, please lead them.
मूलतो ब्रह्मरूपाय मध्यतो विष्णुरूपिणे अग्रतो शिवरूपाय राजायते नमः.
Now we will conclude this exercise by learning some 16 names of Vishnu in everyday life. Now, whenever you are taking medicine, there is you should remember Vishnu. Aushade Chintaye Vishnu. Whenever you're eating food, remember Vishnu's name as Janardana. Whenever you are sleeping, Shayane, you remember Padmanabhaja. During wedding, it is Prajapati. During war, it is Chakradevam. Pravasi, when you are traveling, Trivakramam. When a person is dying, it is called Narayana. Remember Narayana during the time of handing over the body, Tanurtyagi. When you meet somebody whom you love, you remember Vishnu's name is Sridhara. So whenever this association comes, when you are happy to meet somebody, remember Sridhara. You don't want bad dreams, no? So at that time, whom do you pray? Govinda. When you don't want any bad dreams, remember Govinda. During difficulty, whom do you remember? Madhusudana. In forest, wherever you are going through forests, remember Narasimha. Wherever there is fire, there is the Vishnu's name is called Jalashayini. Jalamadhye, when you are in the middle of water, remember Varaha. And whenever you are in a mountain, Raghunandan or Sri Rama. When you're taking a walk, Gamane, remember Vamana. In all activities, you should remember Madhava. I will just play this audio for you. I will stop screen share and play it once again. One moment only, because I want to share the audio also. Share sound 2. Give me 1 minute.
चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। औषधे चिन्तयेद् विष्णुं भोजने च जनार्दनं शयने पद्मनाभं च विवाहे च प्रजापतिं युद्धे चक्रधरं त्रिविक्रमम् नारायणं तनुत्यागे श्रीधरं प्रियसङ्गमे दुःस्वप्ने स्मर गोविन्दं सङ्कटे मधुसूदनम् आनने नारसिंहं च पावके जलशायिनम् जलमध्ये वराहं च पर्वते रघुनन्दनम् गमने वामनं चैव सर्वकार्येषु माधवम् षोडशैतानि नामानि प्रातरुत्थाय यः पठेत् सर्वपापविनिर्मुक्तो.
Shamala, if you can chant this for me.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे
भवन्तु सुखिनः
सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु
सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु
मा कश्चित्
कश्चित्
दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति
शान्ति
शान्ति शान्तिः
Thank you very much. So that was an introduction to Vibhuti Yoga. Thank you. Thanks, Shamala. Thanks, Sachin. Over to you, Sachin.
Thank you, sir. I think we are come to the end of today's class. Those who had today's verse, we will do to start with in the next class.